Yo, what's up with y'all boys and girls, man? Hey, it's Jay Briggs here, continuing to cook up this NBA action, man. Y'all know we do it on the jam session. We cook up every single game, every single day. Yesterday, here on the jam session, it was a good money making day. 6-2 overall. Yesterday, we only had two losses on the board. It just so happens those two losses I actually had on the premium side as well, and we had a 2-2 premium night. Want to do better than that. The all access members did make some coin, and of course I made some coin as we did smack our NBA play of the day, which is the play I personally have the most money on every single day. Our two losses were the Lake Show Lakers. They had one of their best quarters I've ever seen them play. And then the other three, well, not so much. And then our other loss was the Oklahoma City Thunder Buddies, our favorite money making team. There were stretches in that game where they were up and over that margin. They were kicking the crap out of them, but Blazers went on a late fourth quarter run, made it a close game. Thunder won, failed to cover, won by 8. Line was, of course, double digits, so it happens. Bounce back there. What we did do, though, like I said a second ago, was cash our NBA play of the day. Boy, that was a sweat, too, because they tried to give up the bag, man. The Houston Rockets. They had a 20-point lead over the Clippers at one point in that game. I thought they were going to coast to a win in that basketball game. Clippers dove deep, came back, won the game, failed to cover, though, in typical Clippers fashion. We love fading the Clippers here on this program, and we love taking the Houston Rockets at home, at the crib. Shout out the Rockets, man. Houston, we have a problem. Line was 7. They lost by 6. The money spends the same. Ticket is green. And we're trying to keep the momentum rolling forward into tonight, man. We have another solid schedule. And y'all know the drill, man. We're finna cook it up and try to smash it per usual. I appreciate each and every one of you boys and girls that tune in and watch this video. If you appreciate the content that I do, all I ask is that you smash that like button for me. You subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. And as I always say, man, if you rocking with me, rock with me. I'm active on Twitter all day long. There's a link for that in the description below. And of course, I have premium plays over at the site. Money Making Thursday. Let's continue to kick the crap out of the books, enjoying a tremendous season, just trying to keep the momentum rolling forward. You guys can scoop up my NBA play of the day for today. You can hop on something long term at Pick Dawgz Premium, or you can join my All Access Club, man. That is how I am personally betting. And I know some of you guys have asked me for that next level premium service, and I am now offering it to you guys. The guys that have been in my premium area for the entire season and in the All Access Club are all enjoying a tremendous season. Hey, let's keep the momentum rolling forward. Let's kick the crap out of the books tonight. Let's make some money. Without further ado, man, let's hop right into tonight's NBA action. All right, ladies and gentlemen, let's do it. First game up, we got the Brooklyn Nets out on the road facing the Detroit Pistons. Nets are only 2.5-point favorites here in this game. In all honesty, I think that's all you need to know. Of course, they have to be favorites here in this game. They have, 14 more wins on the season, but 2.5-point favorites over the Detroit Pistons. And that's kind of crazy because the Nets have been playing some decent basketball here recently, but the books are telling you exactly how they feel about the Nets. Telling you exactly how they feel about them, and I feel the exact same about them. I've been telling you guys about them for quite some time. They are a sharp, sharp, sharp falling knife, and then it is not one I am trying to catch. I think the Detroit Pistons have had this game circled for a little minute as it's our 10th win of the season. And I think they get it, man. I'm on Detroit here in this basketball game. We saw the news just come across like right before I was about to start recording. Ben Simmons is done for the year with the back. Not really too surprised there. Hey, not finna spend too much time talking about this basketball game. Not laying 2.5 on the road with the Nets. Can't do it, won't do it. I know they've beaten up on some bad teams recently, but they've also lost to some bad teams recently as well. Give me Detroit money line at home, at the crib. Next game up, we got the Minnesota T-Wolves out on the road facing the Indiana Pacers. Pacers favored in this game, laying 1.5. We just saw the news that came across right before I started recording this as well. Karl Anthony Towns, torn meniscus. Now, I haven't seen how long he's going to be out or if he's going to be out. You know, some people do play with the torn meniscus, so we're still waiting for that news to pop up. I'll try to update you guys on that throughout the day, but I would imagine he's probably going to be out for at least a little bit of time. So I wouldn't expect him to play tonight. Um, the T Wolves, are they the better team in the grand scheme of things? Maybe. Um, Defensively, they're really good, but they're going up against a really good offensive team. Indiana, they were banged up heading into the All Star break, so their numbers are probably not as good as they would have been if they were as healthy as Minnesota has been thus far this season. Is all I'm saying. Um, hey, Benedict Mathurin is out for the Pacers. I was at the last game the Pacers just played, though. I was there when they played my Dallas Mavericks, and I'm here to tell you them boys was hooping. I don't know if that was more to do with my Mavs just being terrible or the Pacers just being a really good team. I think both are probably in play. But no, in all seriousness, no, though the Pacers, they've been one of the best offensive teams this year. They've broken NBA records with how good they've been offensively. I think the Wolves are going to miss the presence of Karl Anthony Towns. I think the Pacers are favored at home here for a good reason. I do. I think they're going to cause the T Wolves some problems with how they get out on the break, how they run, how they shoot the three. You know what I'm saying? I think Miles Turner is going to get busy on Rudy Gobert tonight. Miles Turner had a really nice game in that last one. I'm on the Pacers. Short, sweet, simple. The Halliburtons, man. I think they get this one done at home, at the crib. Next game up, speaking of my terrible favorite team, it's the Dallas Mavericks, man. They're sizable home favorites, man. Laying 4.5 on Miami. All right, here's the thing. I don't trust my Mavs as home favorites. Short, sweet, simple. It's that simple. I just don't trust them, bro. They have not shown me that they are trustworthy as home favorites. On the road favorite, oh my God, they cash there all the time. Home favorite, I have to take the Mavs in this spot tonight, though. I have to. This has to be a bounce back game for them. This has to be. Like they're on a fork in the road in the season to where like they've been reeling recently. It's the last game of a homestand TNT game. This has to be the spot for the Mavs before they end up trending to what they did last season. In all honesty, you know, with this being my favorite team, of course I hear all the tea leaves and things of that nature. The end of that last game wasn't pretty, bro. It wasn't. They were in that locker room like, we got to get our shit together. And I think tonight is that spot where they get their shit together, in all honesty. That's how I see this spot. If they come out here and lose, it's not going to be pretty for the remainder of the season for the Mavs. I honestly believe that. But I think tonight is a motivation lock-in spot for Dallas. Miami, hey, they're banged up right now. Hero probably won't play. Kevin Love probably won't play. This is a look-ahead spot for Miami as well. Not a look-ahead, but they're on the front end of a back-to-back. So this has to be a lock-in spot for Dallas. This has to be. Has to be. And I think it is. I'm on my favorite team, the Dallas Mavericks, man. I think they win this game fairly comfortably at home in a bounce-back needed spot. Next game up, fellas. We got the Toronto Raptors out on the road facing the Phoenix Suns. Suns, 10.5-point home favorites here in this one. I'm not in love with this game at all. It's probably one of my least favorite games of the night. Reason being is because, in all honesty, I probably lean Phoenix. But I don't love the spot for these boys. I don't love the spot for Toronto either. Toronto, they're coming off a homestand. We know they play their better basketball at home, at the crib, with the entire country behind them. But last time we seen them, they just got took way behind the woodshed by New Orleans, who aired them out by 40. They did beat Charlotte the game before that, but what's a win over Charlotte? You feel me? They got aired out at home by Golden State, and Dallas actually came in there and beat them up. So at home, at the crib, where they usually play their better basketball, they weren't that encouraging. Now on the road here, I could see them getting aired out again. The Raptors, they're done. Like, they've already waved the white flag for the season. Um, Phoenix, that was a great win for them in their last one in Denver. I was thoroughly surprised to see that happen because we know Denver does not lose in Denver often. Um, so, are the Suns overvalued in this game like they've been all season? Probably. This line should probably be like 7.5. If I was a lines maker, my line here would probably be like 7.5, especially with no Devin Booker. Um, but in that same breath, just because the line should be 7.5, doesn't mean that they don't come in here and still win the game by double digits. And I think they probably kicked the crap out of the Raptors, in all honesty. I do. I do. It's going to be their fifth home game in their last six games. Um, Revenge game at home as well as they lost to Toronto earlier this season. Granted, it was back in November, but that was the only meeting these two teams have played this season. And this game right here is the last meeting these two teams will play. I hate laying points with Phoenix, bro. I hate it. They're one of the worst ATS teams in basketball. Actually, I think they're the second worst ATS team in basketball. Only team that's worse than them is Atlanta. And again, I don't necessarily like the spot coming off the huge win in Denver. And guess who they got up next? They got the Boston Celtics coming into town. So on Saturday. So I'm not really in love with the spot, but everything else I look at tells me, yeah, even without Devin Booker, they're probably going to kick the crap out of Toronto. So I'm going to roll my gut. I think the Suns, a terrible home favorite, actually win and cover here. The Raptors are that bad. I want nothing to do with them really for the remainder of the season. Give me Phoenix. I think they blow the doors off of Toronto here in this one tonight. Next game up, man. We got the game of the night, candidate for game of the year. I've gone back and forth on this basketball game over the last 48 hours, 72 hours or so. We got the Boston Celtics, the team that I've called the best team in the NBA all season, the team that I've told you guys I think is winning the NBA Finals this year, the best team record-wise in the NBA this season. Out on the road facing the Denver Chicken Nuggets, who are, of course, the defending champions, who, of course, go stupid, dummy, crazy at home, at the crib, and who already has beaten Boston this year, and they beat them in Boston. This is the last and final meeting between these two teams unless we get them in the finals, which many people think we might. Me probably being one of those. If I had to tell you my finals right now today, it would be these two. Boston, Denver. So this could be an early finals preview. Looming over this game, I see Jaylen Brown is game time decision. That I think has had this line move a little bit. Last night, Boston was favored by one. The Jaylen Brown news popped up. Now Denver is 1.5 point home favorites. If I was the lines maker here in this game, my line, if Jaylen Brown plays, like regardless, my line just in this basketball game would be Denver -1. Denver -1 would be my line personally. All right. Both teams coming to this game off ugly losses. Denver just lost at home at the crib to the Suns and no Devin Booker. Thoroughly surprised to see that happen. Thoroughly surprised to see that happen. On that jam session that day, though, I told you both teams were in the look-ahead spot to this game. Boston, they're coming in off an ugly loss, man. They had a sizable lead over the Cleveland Cavs in that basketball game and got walked down. And then that game ended in crazy fashion as well. We thought Jason Tatum was going to have a chance to win it at the line, and the foul got overturned. Hey, man. The other day I said I was taking Boston in this basketball game. I am recanting those words. I'm taking Denver at home, at the crib, where they go stupid, dummy, crazy. Had Denver won that game against Phoenix, 9 times out of 10, I would be on Boston in this game. But I cannot bet that the Denver Nuggets lose back-to-back home games. That's something I cannot do. That's something they do not do. They're the defending champs, man. Until you beat the man, If you want to be the man, you got to beat the man. And Celtics, until they show me they're going to beat Denver, I can't bet them to do it. Not in Denver. They had the opportunity to really do it at home in Boston. Couldn't get it done. The Nuggets go stupid, dummy, crazy at home at the crib. It's really just that simple. I've said that for the last 2 seasons. I don't even have to pull the numbers up, man. I don't have to pull them up. We all know Denver doesn't lose often in Denver. And expecting them to lose back-to-back home games in Denver is something I cannot do. Is really what this boils down to. I think they lock in and beat the Celtics. Do I think this is probably going to be the finals? Yes, I do. Is my futures ticket on the Boston Celtics to win the finals? Yes, it is. But currently, if that was the finals, Boston would have the home court advantage, meaning they wouldn't have to win a game in Denver. They could win all 4 in Boston and win the chip. And Denver could win all 3, but they would have to steal one in Boston if they wanted to win the chip. So I'm on the Denver Nuggets in this one. We'll talk championship and rings and which one of these two teams will host the trophy later on this season. But for right now, tonight, I'm on the Nuggets at home, at the crib, where they go stupid, dummy, crazy. All right, let's keep it moving. Let's keep it moving. I'm excited for that game, though. I'm so excited for that game tonight. Next game up, man, we got your Chicago Bulls. They're on the back end of a back-to-back, man, out on the road facing the Golden State Warriors. These boys played yesterday. They won, failed to cover on the road in Utah. Now they have to travel to Golden State. Golden State played yesterday, and they kicked the crap out of the Milwaukee Bucks, man. Yeah, that happened. Hey, what have I told you guys since coming out of the All-Star break about the Golden State Warriors? I am not looking to fade them often. I did fade them in Boston. They're the best team in the league. And at home, they're a different team, different monster, different animal. Golden State, at home, they're a different team, different monster, different animal. We saw that last night, and I think even on the back end of a back-to-back, they come in here and hoop. The thing here is they didn't travel anywhere. They're still at home. Chicago is having to travel, leaving that elevation in Utah. I think this is a weird, tough spot for Chicago to be put in. What have I said about Chicago a lot this season? When they play teams they're supposed to beat, they usually beat them. When they play teams that are matched up even with them, who the hell knows what's going to happen? But when they play good teams, they usually get smashed. And I think the Warriors smash them tonight, in all honesty. This line is high at 7.5, but the Warriors have sneakily become one of the best ATS teams in basketball. 34, 26, and 1 against the number. That has them third, I want to say, in the NBA. Third. Let me verify that. I was looking at it this morning. Third. Yeah, they're third. Orlando, Oklahoma City, Golden State. Orlando's covering at a 67% clip for the season. Oh, my God. Oklahoma City's covering at a 62% clip for the season. Golden State, 57% clip. Just thought that was interesting. Hey, not interested in fading Golden State very often, man. These boys are starting to get downhill. We know what the Warriors look like when that starts to happen. When Curry starts to get in that mode late season, it's not a guy I want to fade often, especially not at home, at the crib, in the Chase Center, where we know what happens at home in the Chase Center. They be cheating. They flip that switch. They got them. They got the magnets in the rim activated, and shots that just don't fall anywhere else be falling. Hey, Curry, Clay, and the company, they just don't miss in the Chase Center. They probably are going to be running down the sideline, whooping it up in this one, kind of like they were doing last night. Short, sweet, simple. I'm on Golden State, at home, in the Bay. Last and final game of the night. We got the San Antonio Spurs out on the road facing the Sacramento Kings. Kings sizable home favorites here in this one. Kings beat up on the Lake Show Lakers last night. I was kind of surprised to see that happen, man. Hey, shout out to them. Them boys was hooping. The Kings, they're really not that hard of a team to figure out, man. Mitch has been telling me about the Kings all season long, and he's low-key been dead on right. When you see the Kings as a dog, take them. That's their spot. When you see the King as a favorite, fade them. That's not their spot. It's really just that simple. It's really kind of that simple. Um, are the Kings head and shoulders better than the Spurs? Yes. Do I want to be laying double digits with the Kings on a back end of a back to back with travel? No, I do not. Now I get it. Sacramento, LA to Sacramento isn't the greatest travel. It's really not travel, but still, different gym, different arena from the one you were shooting in last night is kind of built into that as well. On a normal night, should the Kings in a vacuum kick the crap out of the Spurs? Probably. Do I want to bet the Kings to do that though? No, I do not. I actually probably want the points in my back pocket. The last meeting these two teams played was back in February on the 22nd. Kings won that game 127-122, so Spurs did compete in that one. First meeting this season was in San Antonio back in November, though. Kings won that one 129-120. So they wouldn't have covered this line in either of those two first games. Now on a back end of a back-to-back with travel, can't do it. Can't lay this type of number. We've seen the Spurs be semi-competitive here recently. We did fade them in Houston. We know Houston's a different team, different monster, different animal at home, at the crib. It was our play of the day that day. But before that, home wins over OKC and Indiana. Well, I like that. I do like that. I know the last three road games, they haven't been that competitive. Houston, Utah, and Minnesota. But I think this is one where they will be. Kings probably win the game. They probably win it by like 3 or 4. Is how the Kings usually play as sizable home favorites or sizable favorites in general. So give me Sac. I mean, not Sac. Give me San Antonio plus the points in Sac. They probably light the beam tonight, but I don't think they blow them out. So here in our last and final game of the night, taking the San Antonio Spurs plus the points. And that's going to conclude this episode of my NBA Jam session. As always, I appreciate each and every one of you boys and girls that tune in and watch this video. If you appreciate the content that I do, all I ask is that you smash that like button for me. You subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. And as I always say, man, if you're rocking with me, rock with me. I'm active on Twitter all day long. There's a link for that in the description below. And of course, I have premium plays over at the site. Money Making Thursday. Let's continue to kick the crap out of the books, man. I appreciate each and every one of you boys and girls. I really, really do. You guys can hop on something with me long term at Pickdawgz Premium. You can scoop up my NBA play of the day, the play that I personally have the most money on every single day. And for my bigger bettors out there, hey, I think you guys should seriously think about joining my All Access Club. The information for that is in the description below. It's been your guy, Jay Briggs. I'm out of here. Peace.